Hello, and welcome to the Boyd Life, where today we're going to talk about how do you like to travel? So get ready.
Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello, welcome to the Boyd Life. This is Life with Rick and Marta, where we will be discussing practically anything, any subject. It just really isn't off limits. We are expressing our views, opinions, and thoughts on various subjects. And it could be good, bad, or anything in between. Okay? So that's what's up with the Boyd Life. And let me point out this disclaimer. The views expressed on this channel may or may not be 100% factual. Anything goes, so have fun and be sure to like, subscribe, and comment below.
All right, today we're talking about traveling. You know, Marta and I, when we were younger, we would fly all over the place, and even though we would fly, it was always a struggle to get Marta on the plane, because the first thing she'd do once we got to our seats is start writing things. If something
to our
happens
children or to our
me,
family, you know.
You get this, you get that.
Well,
and we
no,
really love you.
It
And
was
oh my
usually
gosh.
things that I love, but I do not like to travel by air. And over the past number of years, I don't travel by air.
And every little bump on the airplane.
Well, in my defense, we have had a couple of really bad landings, and we had
Takeoffs.
one plane as we're going along, and like an explosion, and you're like, whoa, and you look out the side, because we were close enough to the wings, and I think our son, we gave him the window seat, and he goes,
Plane's on fire.
Engine's on fire, or whatever.
Engine's on
we had
fire.
to turn around. Oh, it's okay. We have one left. And I'm like, well, please, God, please,
Well, that
let
was
us all get back
we
safely.
were taking the kids.
Where are children with us?
We were taking the kids to Mexico with us, and it was an exciting time because we took off 3 times and came back to the airport twice. So,
and it took like a day and a half to get there or something.
well,
It was terrible.
we got there at 3 o'clock in the morning to leave, and we actually left.
4 o'clock the next, 5 o'clock?
No,
the next
it was
morning?
midnight or so
Oh,
the next morning.
It was-
and
it
it
was
was just
after
staying
that,
at the
I
airport
think.
waiting to
It was a
try another
long
plane.
time.
And so, yeah, she doesn't like to fly very much.
And that was about the last time I did fly.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so now what we do is, you know, with RVs, we RV a lot. We take the cars, and we have taken the train. I have taken the train. Have you taken the train?
The only train I took was when we went to, I think it was Alaska. Was it Alaska?
Oh, yeah, we went on a train
And we
ride
went on a
in.
train, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't like that either.
And I don't know why. I mean, the trains are pretty
Well, it
easy.
went over.
Bridges. It has to go over bridges.
Yeah, but I am afraid of heights. Can you tell?
Yeah.
I don't like heights.
Well, let's see. To show you how afraid of heights she is, we went with some friends to
Palo Duro Canyon?
the casino in Colorado.
Oh, Cripple Creek.
Cripple Creek.
Say it real fast.
I
Cripple
can't even say it once slow. And so we went to that place.
Yeah.
And by the time we got to the top of the mountain, because she could see over and she was yelling, slow down, slow down. Well, you can't slow down when you're only doing 10 miles an hour. But slow down, oh my gosh, crying. She doesn't like heights at all.
And I don't really care for speed. I'm not a speed demon, especially on something like that. And I think it's harder when you're a passenger. I do. I kind of think it's harder. Someone said you might not feel that way if you were the person behind the wheel driving or something. I don't know, but the other thing is we went on. Oh, that's another story.
Yeah.
But so buses. Have you gone by bus?
Yes,
I've
I
gone
traveled.
by bus. Oh, we
being
went
in
to,
the service, I had to take buses up from L.A. to Sacramento to fly out to Thailand.
Well,
and I took buses when I was a kid all the time around town. That's how I got around town.
That's right.
I'd actually get
long
on the bus and
distance.
just ride around for a day.
But because you were in the service, you went on a bus long distance.
Yeah,
right?
they transported us from.
Maybe the bus I was on was up in Wisconsin, and that's a story because my sister was with me, and I had one young child in a car seat. And we had no idea where we were. We wanted to go somewhere, for the day while my other sister was at work because we were visiting her, I think. And she was at work, so we were going to go somewhere, and then we were going to come back. But we had no idea because neither of us had been up there like that, and neither of us had probably ridden a bus. And so we got on, and every time it stopped, we said, "Is this where we get off?" And the bus driver would say, "No." And then, "Is this where we'd get off?" "No." Is this where we get off? And he actually turned around and he said, "When I turn the bus off, that's when you get out." We're like, "Oh, okay." Evidently, we were the last stop if he was going to turn the bus. So we were the last stop, and
which is funny because
that's the only time we've ridden on it that I think.
When I rode the bus from L.A. to San Francisco, and I was in the service, it was not the non-stop to San Francisco. Oh. We stopped everywhere. I mean, it was amazing that how many stops that bus had. And
where did you leave from?
L.A.
Oh, okay.
And leaving from L.A. bus stop at that time was not a great place. Bus stops are never in the best parts of the city. And so it was.
And if you don't believe that, just watch Adventures in Babysitting.
Yes. and I'm telling you, I didn't even see a city at some of these bus stops. I mean, it was just like, okay, we're stopping to pick up this one lady that's standing on the side of the road with a suitcase. And I'm going, this can't be a planned stop. I mean, but evidently it was because we stopped at all these places. Would that
have been back in the 60s or 70s?
70s.
70s? Early 70s, yeah. Well, anyway.
And they never leave like at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. They always leave at 1 o'clock in the morning. And you're going, wow, this is not safe.
Well, anyway, and you talked about a train. Other than taking that train wherever it went.
We've taken other trains. We've done a murder mystery train one time.
Oh, we did. We did do that.
That was fun.
That didn't scare me. I think that was somewhere in the Midwest where, it's flat. But to go somewhere, to take Amtrak. We have looked at bus fares, airfares, train fares, and sometimes I was surprised. You think, well, in air it's going to cost so much. Let's see what it would be to go by bus or train. And it was expensive. So my favorite way, anyway, of traveling is just by car. Either by car, going to wherever we're going.
Or taking our RV.
Or taking our
trailer.
RV. Because I get to see scenery. And I'm not one that likes cities. I'm talking landscape, scenery. And I want to see the mountains, not necessarily have to go up in the mountains such.
Yeah, you have to go over the mountains to get to California.
Well, if they're not real high. But when I can see right over the edge, I don't like that. Oh.
And then recently, too, talking about price.
I love the Southwest mountains.
Yeah.
I love
Talk about prices, though. The way the plane tickets have gotten so expensive, and trying to be at the airport 2 hours before your flight, it's, you start saying, okay, I got to drive an hour to the airport. I got to be there 2 hours there. The flight's 3 hours.
It has a stop somewhere and you have to change.
Going to New
wherever.
Hampshire, I got to go to Charleston, North Carolina.
How many hours was that a layover? 2?
No, it was about an hour and a half.
Okay.
And then go another 2 hour flight because I've missed my point by 2 hours. It's, the traveling time is not just like, 2 hours and you're there. It's about 6 hours. Well,
it's still a
say
day.
you fly to Dallas from Lincoln, it's only a 7-hour drive to Dallas, about 7 hours. Well, if I have to drive to Omaha and be there 2 hours earlier and the flight takes 2, that's 5. I could have been there in a car just about the same time as if I would have.
And you wouldn't have to get a rental.
And not get a rental. So, you got to look at that too. Because, the ticket price. Oh, we found out that going back and forth to New Hampshire.
Now, maybe you know differently.
Different.
I mean, we have
ended
not
up
gotten that many airline tickets lately, but we did.
But we got
recently.
2 one-ways cheaper than a round trip. We
Yeah,
saved
that surprised
$400 getting 2 one-ways rather than a round trip. It's amazing. But it surprised
That was
us
our-
because we always thought round trips were cheaper, and now we found out that one-ways are cheaper.
Well, that's what we found out. Now, we would like to hear from you. First, if you will like, share, comment, and subscribe to our channel. But we want your comments.
Which way do you
How
provide
do
to
you
go?
prefer?
You prefer, yeah. Which way do you prefer to travel? Do you like the bus? Do you like the trains? Do you like airplanes, or do you like your car, or do you RV a lot?
Yeah.
Which one do you use?
But please,
We like to
let
keep
us
our
know.
feet on the ground.
We want to read about it. We might discuss it on a future episode if we get enough comments, from people, and that would be fun to know.
Yeah, to know what people
Yeah.
do these days. That I know there's people that work and they have to travel by plane. That's the only way they can get from place to place, and the business pays for it. But I mean, if you're doing leisure travel, are you finding out that plane travel is not leisure travel anymore? Because with the hassles at the airport and the delays, my gosh, I was at the airport for a long time. Trust me.
I forgot to ask. Did you get X-rayed?
Oh yeah. You got to raise your hands and you get X-rayed.
And then, you have to take off half your clothes. Well, you know what I mean. Anyway, so that you don't set their thingies off.
Yeah.
And they have so many restrictions,
And then another thing was the carry-on.
Oh, yeah, the carry-on.
So we thought, okay, I'm not going to check baggage because it can be expensive. So I took a small carry-on backpack. Well, the airlines limit you supposedly to one carry-on and something that you can carry papers in or something like that.
They'll let a woman take a
Yeah.
purse or a bag.
Well, you can see these people that travel a lot of time. They have like 3 carry-ons, and they're telling them that you can't do that, and they still come on with 3 carry-ons. And then after the first 15 or 16 rows are filled, whatever rolls after that, though, they have to check in their luggage no matter what. And if it's a wheeled carry-on, they will check it. But they check it for free. Now, what are you telling your customers? You're telling you're going to charge for baggage, so you're making them do carry-ons. So they do carry-ons, and then you make them check their luggage, but you're going to let them for free. People aren't dumb. What they're going to do is they're going to bring everything, and then if you make them check it, doesn't matter because you're paying for it anyway. I don't understand the airlines at all.
It's like a lot of things. If the rules was it one carry-on and
that's what it should be.
A bag or a purse or something.
But these people are breaking it, and then they get rewarded because they're checking their baggage for free.
Like I said, we haven't flown for so long, and when we did, we would usually have one checked bag apiece. But at that time, they weren't charging you to have a suitcase. So you're going to go visit family, or you're going to do something on a vacation or something for a week, and you need that.
Another thing,
but you were going for a couple of days.
Yeah, so I didn't need a bunch of luggage.
He could just have a small carry-on,
and real quick, here's another thing I found out that I was wondering because of I had 4 flights, and there was a lot of people in wheelchairs. I mean, so
Really?
first carry the first ones to board are people in wheelchairs.
Okay.
And usually maybe 1, 2 wheelchairs,
Right.
No, there was this one flight, 10 wheelchairs.
Wow.
10 people in wheelchairs. And then so they got to load first. And then when they're getting off, only 2 on wheelchairs got off.
What?
Yeah, so they only brought 2 wheelchairs on and then got them off. And so the other 8 people really probably didn't need a wheelchair, but they got on sooner.
That's interesting.
And I read an article that is the latest scam now for people to get on aircraft earlier so they can board and get a better, well, they're always assigned a seat, but I mean, one way or the other, but they can board earlier than anybody else. They just require assistance in a wheelchair. Now, that was the 1 hour flight. Coming back to Omaha, 15. There were 15 wheelchairs.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm going, 15 people with wheelchairs? I mean, how unusual is that? Getting on a plane?
At one time?
But so you could see that people are taking advantage because
Wow.
trust me, we got off that aircraft pretty quick. So I don't think they willed 15 people off.
Well,
We got off on this couple subjects.
yeah, well, it's
All right.
still flying.
Thank you for watching. It's Rick and Marta, The Boyd Life. We appreciate you watching. Please comment, share, subscribe. And
like this video.
And like this video. Give us a thumbs up if you like our content. We'll keep trying to put out content. And we
Let us
appreciate
know
you
what you
watching.
think. Yes.
So we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.